Okay, here we go. I love this. She has no idea what I'm doing. My sister and I grew up a couple of have-nots in a town of haves. They'd be drowned by the pounds of their flashy crowns and fancy gowns, while we wore frowns, walking school grounds, and hand-me-downs. We live in a world where we are told not to compare, not to measure ourselves against each other, but in reality, it's just a natural part of being human. It's a part of human being. And it wasn't until later that I realized we weren't a couple of have-nots in a town of haves. We were just a couple of haves in a town of have-mores. And aside from cleaning the floors and washing my drawers, the yelling and screaming and slamming of doors, life really wasn't as unhappy as we made it out to be. We had plenty. Our plates weren't empty. We had clothes on our back, shoes on the rack, a roof over our heads, and separate clean beds. We were a family. And it wasn't until later that I realized we weren't a couple of haves in a town of have-mores. We were just a couple of haves in a town of have-different. You see, without money, we began to appreciate our growing ability to innovate, find ways to stimulate and cultivate, penetrate and infiltrate the deep recesses of our consciousness to liberate ourselves from boredom's ability to debilitate. In other words, get lost for hours in a big pile of Legos. And when I was done playing with those modular instruments of construction, I sought more creative forms of fun. This son did a lot of bad things when he was young, but never the same more than one. I owe my mom for my athletic abilities all those years chasing me around the kitchen table with a wooden spoon. My track coach in high school never got a chance to thank her, but I do. Thank you, Mom. And as my legs grew to outrun her, about the same time the countless broken wooden spoons made her switch to plastic. True story. She found a new way to make me atone. She let out a groan, pick up the phone, dial that familiar tone, and yell, "Wait till your father comes home." You see, your parents, they give you what they know. The rest you got to get on your own. The best gift my parents beat into me was a keen awareness of reflection, to look at my past actions and make necessary correction. Why is all this important to mention? Because it wasn't until later that I realized the best gift a man could give a woman is his undivided attention. Tina, it was one hell of a surprise to find you. It didn't add up. It's too good to be true. I said to myself, your mind's playing tricks, because she's supposed to be a tranny on the hot, crazy Matrix. For those that don't understand the reference, I got a 6-word clue. Let me Google that for you. In other words, she's a hot 10 and a crazy 2. Come on now, ladies, admit it. All of you are at least a 2 crazy. Right? Yeah. Those are some 4s over there. Tina, your aura is like a stained glass window for your soul. Better yet, a prism. A beam of light fractured 1,000 times, casting a kaleidoscope of color. With a powerful force of magnetism, you bring the right amount of optimistic to my melancholy pragmatism. With a crack of a smile, your penetrating stare, I'm left without worry. And I'll hurry to point out all the ways you lure me to a healing place that no matter what ails me, you can cure me. Like all the times I do something stupid or embarrassing and she simply says, Adam, you're so funny. I get it. I know what that means. Message received. I love that every move you make is with purpose. I love that doing for you never feels like service. And if I took your sincerity to a pawn shop, no owner could afford the purchase. You are a school of U-Rock alumni, and like a purple squirrel, you're beyond hard to come by. And this one guy even loves the cute little way you end your calls. Bye. She does, doesn't she? And it doesn't take someone long to discover that our relationship is like no other. Forget about fighting. We've never even raised our voices at each other. In fact, the only conflict I've faced since 422 is the impossible weight of a failed language. In a twist of fate, I found you, but the search for words to express your worth leaves me in anguish. But I will never give up trying. I will illustrate your value the only way I know how to. Through action, through love, through an undying commitment to support you, your thoughts, your feelings, to validate, to reciprocate, to appreciate. Is there anyone left in the world to persuade that there's no other life I would trade? Because denial's as sensible as pressing olives when you're trying to make a lemonade. Tina, your voice, your everything is the best song this world has ever played, and we are the greatest love story ever made. And it wasn't until I met you that I realized I'm not a have in a town of have different. I simply have all I will ever need.